What is good, Hater Nation? This is Jay Gant from the Sideline Haters coming back to you for my Week 2 NFL picks. Got a lot of things happening in the league. Last week, Week 1 went great. It was one of the best weeks the NFL has ever seen, especially bouncing back over the offseason lockout that the league had. So it's good to see good football. Um, 9/11 last week also. So a lot of things went on with a remembrance of 9/11, I should say. Everybody wants to say anniversary, but an anniversary is celebrating something good. This was not good. So don't say anniversary of 9/11. Let's say the remembrance of 9/11 that went on. Um, I'm about to give you my picks. It's now 8 p.m. East Coast time, which gives everybody an hour to get ready for the locker room with Jeff Little. Tune into www.sportsjourney.com and you'll be able to hear his opinions. He has a lot of NFL knowledge. I'll be tuning in, I'll be in the chat box. So if you want to talk to me, talk to Jeff, feel free to go ahead and do so. But with that being said, my week 2 NFL picks go like this. Oakland at Buffalo. Buffalo dropped 41 points on Kansas City last week, and who saw that coming? I sure didn't see it coming. But the Oakland Raiders did handle their business against the Denver Broncos, and I think Oakland is going to carry on their winning ways and defeat Buffalo in Buffalo. Green Bay goes to Carolina, and Cam Newton had a coming out party last week. Yeah, they took a loss, but Cam Newton told folks that he is for real. I don't think he's that real to beat the Green Bay Packers, though. Cam will still have a decent game, but Green Bay is another form of defense that he hasn't seen as of yet. I'm calling Green Bay to win this one. Green Bay looks awfully good, I should say by that. Kansas City at Detroit. Kansas City disappointed me last week, and Detroit, I picked them to lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Detroit I didn't really, well, I called them to lose. So I'm not going to say I kind of sort of did. I'm not going to waver. But Detroit is a good team. And I think Detroit is going to let everybody know that they are for real and defeat the Kansas City Chiefs at home. Cleveland against Indy. Still no Peyton Manning. But I don't care. I'm just not a believer in Cleveland. Cleveland, uh, I'm just not a believer. Peyton Hillis is there, good running back, cover of Madden and all that. I still think the Colts are a better team even without Peyton Manning to beat the Cleveland Browns. Let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Not the Green Bay Packers, I'm sorry. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hmm. A friend of mine just said, this is not the old Donovan. So I'm going to give credit to where the credit is due. I think Tampa Bay will go to Minnesota and prove that they do belong, and Tampa will win that game. Next, the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. And everybody is down on the Bears, and the Bears had a great game last week. That defense showed they're still around. And I believe in Chicago. However, I don't believe they'll beat the Saints. The Saints still have a high powered offense that you have to credit for. And with all the defensive prowess of the Bears, I don't see them getting over the Saints. I take the Saints winning that. The Saints aren't going to start 0-2. So I just don't see that happening. And 1-1 is good for the Bears. Let's see. Next game, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets. Too much defense, and the offense looks pretty good with New York also. I'm calling the Jets in that one. The Seattle Seahawks go to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh was embarrassed by the Ravens last week. I don't see that happening twice. I don't see them losing two straight. Let's go Pittsburgh in that one. Baltimore at Tennessee. Baltimore will continue their winning ways despite Chris Johnson's performance in Tennessee. Baltimore will win that game. Arizona flies over to Washington to return home to Arizona as losers. I have the Redskins winning that, and I will be in attendance to that. Dallas goes to San Fran. I think Dallas will take care of business in San Francisco. So let's see what happens there. Cincy at Denver. I'm not a believer in Denver. And I believe if Cal Orton doesn't have a good game, he will lose his job. Folks are calling for Tebow, even though Tebow didn't look that great in the preseason. People want to see that young man play. I'm calling Cincy in that game, and Cincy actually did win the week before. Surprised me when they beat Cleveland. So, hey, never know what may happen. So I'm calling for Cincy. Houston goes into Miami, and Miami had a pretty good game against uh, the New England Patriots. But let's see what happens there again. I don't see Miami doing that same offensive performance again. So Let's see what happens. Houston, Andre Johnson, Arian Foster comes back from injury. Matt Schaub, I think it's still too a little bit too much offense for Miami to deal with. But this will be a good tell for Houston's defense because Houston historically has struggled on the defensive end of the football. But I think Houston will take them out. The San Diego Chargers against the New England Patriots. That is going to be the game of the week. You have two quarterbacks there who are beasts, and Tom Brady showed he was still a monster last week. I see Tom Brady being a monster again. I see a tight game, but I can't bet against the Patriots right now. I'm calling New England in that one. Philly goes to Atlanta. Michael Vick returns as a starter back to the place where he started his career. And I think it's going to be an emotional day for Michael Vick. I think he's going to take out the Falcons. Falcons will start 0-2, so they're going to have to do a lot of rallying, but I don't think they'll beat the Eagles on Sunday. And Monday night's game, the St. Louis Rams go to New York to face the New York Giants. Ah, Giants were embarrassed in FedEx Field last week. I see the Giants bouncing back and taking this win. Steven Jackson is not going to play for the St. Louis Rams. That's going to hurt for them. He's their number one guy. And his first touch of the game last week, he took it 40 plus yards for a touchdown. And he's on my fantasy squad. I wish he was playing. However, he's not. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Eli will have a decent game, I see. And I see the New York Giants taking this one out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are my picks. I was 11-5 last week, which was pretty good, but not up to my standard. Hopefully, I can get 12-4, 13-3, something like that. Who knows? I just may be undefeated. Undefeated in the East. Sideline hater number one hopes to go undefeated. So let's see what happens. Again, this is Jay Gant. You can find me tomorrow and Sunday at www.sportsjourney.com. Jay Gant, KGLT, and Duck Martin form the Sideline Haters. We form like Voltron, and I just happen to be the head sometimes. So check us out. Check out Jeff Little on Sports Journey. He'll be on at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 12 a.m. Jeff Little in the locker room. And check out the Sports Journey's player shows. Go to the websites and you'll hear all about them, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jay Gant, and I'm signing off. Talk to y'all later.